Hello, and welcome to a very special live edition episode for Cabin Fever Radio. I'm your host, Mr. David Rano, and you may know me from the Cabin Fever Radio novellas. And I just want to do a quick little update on what's coming up next week on the weekend of the 4th through the 6th. It's going to be a very special weekend for us. We're going to do a 48-hour telethon. Now, the telethon is going to run at 4 p.m. Friday all the way down to Sunday at roughly 6 or 7 p.m. We are going to be doing something that's very unique in our experience since our first thought of doing some of these live streams. And again, doing 48 hours worth of content is going to be something unique for us and hopefully unique for you guys. And one of the things that we're going to kick off the live stream with is a Kickstarter for Vengeance Turns. Vengeance Turns has been something that Bobby and I have been a part of for about 3 years now. And we are finally able to create the motion picture, film the motion picture of Vengeance Turns. You've heard the podcast version of it. Hopefully you have. You can check out the podcast version of Vengeance Turns on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other platforms. But now we are able to fully film the feature-length motion picture. And that is what the telethon is going to be all about. We are going to showcase the cast of Vengeance Turns in all their glory, doing a official cast announcement of all the different roles that have been cast for Vengeance Turns. We're going to do that on Saturday, as well as do a reading of a novella with the cast of Vengeance Turns on Sunday. And it's going to be a very special edition of Cabin Fever Radio because we're going to try to do 48 hours worth of material, and it will be entertaining and fun for the whole family for sure. So again, please stay tuned for that. A little bit on some of the coming up events that we're going to start the telethon with is a reading of Cabin Fever Radio, and with the cast that you probably saw for Perry Mason. They're coming back. We're going to do a reading with them on Saturday at 5, followed by Wild Love Weekly, which is Bobby's signature live stream that he does on Facebook Fridays at 3. This time we'll have it be at 7, where he reviews music and topics that are about music and how we should always spread love in every facet of our lives. After Wild Love Weekly, we're going to have a music hour featuring the talented people that we've gotten to know throughout the years. And the lineup for that, I am pulling it up as we speak, because again, this is also another test of our immense knowledge on the live streaming aspect of it. But we have our friend Kate, who's going to start off the show, as well as Corey, who is going to be doing a performance, and some I'm looking up the names right now just because I don't want to get this wrong for you guys. And we have, oh, come on, thumbs work. So Kate Comstock will start off the show. Corey Story will be a part of it. We'll have our friend Norris, who's going to be a part of it, as well as a guest appearance of another act that I don't have it right in front of my face. Because again, this was somewhat of an impromptu live stream to let you guys know what we're going to be doing. After the live music hour, we're going to do a show that we're calling Chronicles, where we will be reading uh, the grim stories of Brothers Grimm with some of the cast members that you all have seen as part of Canon Fever Radio novellas. After the Brothers Grimm, we're going to be doing a Canon Fever news segment where we talk about the production of Vengeance Turns, and some of the topics that we'll be showcasing will be where we're going to be shooting, how we're going to be shooting, what led up to us being able to film, including an update on the Kickstarters and things of that nature. On Saturday, we have another full lineup of amazing talents coming in. And throughout the night, we are trying to, get some sleep because, again, humans have to sleep. Bobby and I haven't slept very well throughout the past couple of weeks because we've been excited to be able to even come up with this idea and make it happen. So throughout the night, from the midnight hour till 5 or so in the morning, 5 or 6 or so in the morning, we are gonna have reruns of some of our favorite shows, like the Gladiator episode, as well as the Perry Mason episode, and a few other episodes from the from the Twilight Zone episodes from season 1. Back when we first started doing the Canon Fever Radio novellas. After the reruns, because again, that gives us time to actually sleep a little, we're gonna do a show called Lots and Lots and Lots of Coffee with Mr. David Rano. And again, the show will be talking about production, talking about art techniques, talking about art in general. It'll be similar to a morning, Good Morning America type show where we'll be just chit chatting with a couple guests about the arts, about the industry, about how, most of the time, most of us artists need to drink lots and lots and lots of coffee to be able to continue creating. I'm not saying that coffee makes us better at creating, but it definitely cheers us up so we can continue creating. So that's going to be like an hour or so segment. And we're going to start at 8 in the morning with the Cabin Fever Radio News, where we will be talking about production specifically to Vengeance Turns, as well as give you updates on the Kickstarter and Indiegogo and some of the fundraising efforts that we have been doing, as well as do the cast announcement, the official cast announcement introducing the cast of Vengeance Turns to the world, starting at 8 in the morning. That's when we will do our official cast announcement, but we'll be doing the news for about a couple hours before then. At that moment, after we do the cast announcement and launch our Indiegogo campaign as well, we're going to do a mini film expo where we'll be showcasing films, short films, miniseries, trailers that we have all been a part of. The cast of Vengeance Turns have been a part of, as well as the crew have been a part of, because again, we've been creating art for a long time, and we always enjoy seeing each other's work. And so we'll be able to showcase some of the short films, as well as do Q&As with the people involved in those short films, so you can get a sense of the talents of the actors who are in those specific films, as well as some of the directors and what their vision was and how they laid it out and things of that nature. So again, it'll be very entertaining, very Q&A based, and showcasing again the talents of our friends and family that have been able to do all this fun stuff. After the mini film expo, roughly at 3 p.m., because again the mini film expo will go from 11 or so till 3. At 3, we're going to be doing a comic book corner special with Bobby. Bobby will be hosting his comic book corner live streams. He usually does them on Wednesdays, but because we're doing the 48-hour telethon, we're going to be doing them on Saturdays at 3 to about 4 or 5 p.m. We haven't gotten nailed yet, but most likely it'll be from 3 to 5. So be sure to tune in, because he loves to talk about all the different comic books and some of the comic books that have inspired him on creating Vengeance Turns to be able to make it into a motion picture now. That being said, after the comic book corner, we're going to go dive right into a Cabin Fever Radio novellas, which will line up to our regular time zone, which is at 5 p.m. So be sure to stay tuned for that, because again, the radio novellas, it has been a staple for us for so long. Since March, we're already on season 3, episode 11 as of today. So stay tuned for that. And we are going to continue with Cabin Fever Radio novellas, part 3 of Toy Story at 5 next Saturday. And one of the things that we will be doing, which will be unique to the telethon and the telethon only, will be a live post show. So you will be able to see our post shows. Usually the post shows are Patreon exclusive, but not for this weekend. We want you guys to know what the post shows look like, so you guys can support us and become a Patreon member, so you can get exclusive content that only is available on Patreon. But we're going to give you a taste on Saturday of what our post shows look like. And one of the things that we're going to be doing for the post show is introduce you guys to some of the new shows that we're coming up with. And we will be debuting an improv show that will start at 7 to about 9 p.m. And that improv show will be unique in its own way. We're going to have one of our cast members, Braxton Ray and Dave Ross. They've been hard at work making sure that we're able to get the show to the right form, so we can be able to play it and showcase it and live stream it. In the near future, the improv show will be on Tuesdays, but we're gonna debut it on Saturday at 7 p.m. So again, stay tuned for that. It's gonna be funny and amazing, and it'll hopefully make everyone laugh. And after the improv show, we will have a couple more shows that will be debuting that won't be on the regular lineup as far as live streams, but will be on podcast form. And one of them will be the 4:18 a.m. podcast. And one of the things with the 14 a.m. podcast is a show that I've been wanting to do for a couple months now, that I'm still trying to make sure that I have the right feel for it and the right idea for it. And it's going to be talking about some of the ideas that we get in the middle of the night when we can't sleep, hence 4:18 a.m. And it will be poetry based, and not just poetry, but it'll be poems, inspirational messages, proverbs, and words that have inspired us throughout the years, throughout our lifetime, throughout our generations. So we're going to dive into talking about how those words have inspired us, have inspired others, and how can those words help us be able to inspire others as well. And so that's going to be a fun podcast. It will become a podcast only uh, show. So one of the things that we will be doing is creating the template live as far as how we're going to be doing it, but you will be able to get a taste of it. And from there, after the 4:18 a.m. podcast show, we will be continuing with our Cabin Fever Radio news, our news of the night. Again, talking about some of the past shows, uh, some of the current shows, as well as how the day went, like a little recap of the entire day, and how our fundraising efforts have been going, so uh, we can know what to do for tomorrow, type of thing. So again, that's going to be on the 10 o'clock ish hour of Saturday, and that's going to conclude the Saturday time. And again, that goes all the way to about midnight or so. And again, because we need sleep, I'm not saying that we don't need sleep, but we do need sleep, unfortunately. We're going to do another round of reruns from midnight to about 6 in the morning. In this case, we will be doing reruns of Vengeance Turns. We have the original recordings when we first did Vengeance Turns live with Cabin Fever Radio Novella. So we have all 4 episodes, including a Q&A episode that we did, showcasing the whole cast and then talking a little bit about the cast and their background and whatnot. So that's going to be running during the night, during the night of Saturday into the morning of Sunday, which will be Vengeance Turns episode 1, 2, and 3, as well as the Vengeance Turns Q&A episode. And if for some reason that isn't enough of a time slot to cover those hours, we will also be running the Cabin Fever Radio Novella's Batman special. And the Batman special, again, is always fun to watch because it's a very unique episode that again, on my side anyway, I bring a very old Alfred to the forefront where he talks like this. And it's a very fun episode that I do enjoy, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And so that's going to be rerunning in the background. And after the reruns, once we go back into the live stream aspect of it, we will be starting off the morning again with lots and lots and lots of coffee. Because again, lots and lots of coffee help keep us creative and keep us on our toes and keep us refreshed. And that's going to be running at a similar time slot that it did on Saturday from 6 a.m. to about 8 a.m. And after that, we're going to continue with Cabin Fever Radio News, where we'll be talking about what happened Friday, what happened Saturday, and how much have we raised throughout those days, and as well as some of more topical information. If you guys have any questions, you will be able to chat with us live on Facebook, and we will answer any questions that you might have. After the news, we will have a very special segment that will be hosted by Jamal Gardner. Jamal Gardner, he will be a character on Vengeance Turns playing Jefferson Coltrane, but he will also host a very special segment that he entitled "Your Future is Brighter Than Your Past." So just with that title alone, he will be addressing topics that have been on the news in this nation throughout months and months. And so he'll be going doing topics on Black Lives Matter, as well as charities that can help the movement grow, and how can we grow as a nation and become better humans doing so. So again, it's going to be a very special segment that will be from the bottom of his heart and very heartfelt. So that's going to be at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So be sure to tune in for that segment. Again, the title for that segment will be Your Future is Brighter Than Your Past, hosted by Jamal Gardner. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Feel free to chat with us live, because we will be live and we will be monitoring the chat. So be sure to do that as we continue on throughout the entire day. After that segment, we have a couple empty slots. And again, I'm telling you guys this because we are always constantly creating and finding the right community. And if you guys want to help out with the live, we have a couple slots that we will be filling in. And one of the main slots that we are currently working on is creating a comedy hour. That will be hosted by Dave Ross, and he will be bringing in comics to do a couple lineups. We're still scheduling exactly the time for it, but it will start at 2 p.m. to about 4 p.m. with the comedy hour. After the comedy hour, this is where we're getting close to finishing the 48 hours. Technically, at 4 is the 48 hours, but we're going to continue for a couple hours more. And we'll start at 4 with the Cabin Fever Radio News once more and doing the final show, where we're going to do the final stretch on what we're doing, how we've done, and this will be your chance to be able to donate, ask us questions, ask anything from the different cast members, from the writers. From if you want to ask me any questions, feel free to do so. So that's going to be at 4, and then at 5, we will do a very special Cabin Fever Radio Novellas with the cast of Vengeance Turns. It's going to be a very special show because we're going to have the cast members for the first time acting in something as a unit. So we're all going to be there. We're all going to be reading. We still don't know exactly what show, but we'll probably be reading Bonanza or something Western related, because again, we are filming a Western. We are doing the 48 hours for Vengeance Turns. We are doing the fundraiser for Vengeance Turns. And I'm not saying that we need the money, because we will film Vengeance Turns either way. We have the funds for it. We have the locations. We're just wanting you guys to be able to help out to make Vengeance Turns the best it can ever be. And every single penny helps. And whether that penny goes into just buying extra food for the crew, buying extra gear for the crew, being able to provide extra help for the actors in the post-production, in the color grading, in little things like that, that a lot of people take for granted. Because again, doing a feature film on an indie level is not the easiest. And the payback on it might not be the greatest, because we are not Universal Studios. We are not 21st Century Fox, but we are creating something unique that you will enjoy. And that's why we're doing it, because we love creating art. We love telling stories. And that's why we are asking you guys to help out. And that's why we're doing the 48 hours of live streaming, to entertain you guys as we do it. So doing the Cabin Fever Radio Novellas with the cast will be able to showcase you, the cast members that we've chosen to be part of Vengeance Turns, and you'll get a glimpse of their greatness, of their talent that they will be able to bring to Vengeance Turns, the motion picture. So that's at 5, all the way to 6. And we're going to do another post show that will also conclude the 48 hours of amazingness. And with the cast members, we're going to do a little Q&A towards the end, a little real talk with you guys. And thank you so much for supporting us. Thank you so much for just your comments, your views, just some of the notes that you've sent to us. So again, be sure to stay tuned for that. And one of the things that we will be doing throughout the week leading up to it is on Instagram, we'll be posting what shows are coming up at what and hosted by who and things of that nature. So you will be able to find our previews and our rap parties and all that fun stuff. CabinFeverRadio.com. That will be the main site. We'll be live streaming to Facebook, to YouTube, to Twitch, to Twitter. Our main focus obviously is Facebook because we have a little bit more of a following on Facebook, but you will be also available to watch us on YouTube and Twitch and Twitter. From there, please follow us on Instagram so you can get updates on what lineups are coming at what time, by who, and whatnot. As well as follow us on Twitter. Because again, Twitter is another platform that you can interact with us, you could chat with us, you can ask us questions, and we'll be able to respond, whether it be me personally or Bobby or Dave Ross, which is the other producer that has been a big help making Vengeance Turns a reality. That being said, one of the things that we wanted to test out today at the exact same time is the nature of live streaming on Facebook. And I do have another stream on Facebook currently, which is Camera 2, which is down here. So one of the things that I want to make sure is that when we switch off from one show to another, we are able to continue providing entertainment with you guys. So one of the things that I will be doing is kicking it off to Camera 2. So again, if you're on Cabin Fever Radio Facebook page, I will be signing off on this camera and continuing on to Camera 2. So again, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your support. And we'll see you on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Hopefully throughout all 48 hours, if not for specific segments. But again, thank you so much. This is Cabin Fever Radio.